What a mess at the Oxford Union. A highly anticipated debate. The House believes that India's response to Pakistan is a populist strategy sold as security policy, was supposed to happen on November 27th. But instead of a clash of ideas, it turned into a public slinging match, with accusations flying left and right. The Indian side, led by lawyer Sai Deepak, is crying foul, alleging a deliberate Pakistani gambit to dodge the debate, while the Pakistan High Commission in London is pointing the finger straight back, claiming the Indian team backed out. So, what on earth actually happened? Let's break down this Oxford debacle. This story is a roller coaster of last-minute changes and conflicting accounts. It all started with the debate's organization. According to Sai Deepak, the entire event felt shaky from the get-go. He pointed out that key positions at the Oxford Union were held by Pakistani nationals. He specifically named Musa Haraj, the union's president, who he alleged is the son of Pakistan's Minister of Defense Production, and Raza Nazar, the treasurer. This raised early concerns for the Indian side about the impartiality of the event's organizers. But the real drama began just 2 days before the debate was scheduled. The original high-profile speakers for the Indian side, former Army Chief General M.M. Naravane and politician Dr. Subramanian Swamy, had to pull out. They cited unavoidable commitments, but their last-minute departure sent the organizers scrambling for replacements. It was a huge blow, leaving the Indian team in a tough spot with very little time to regroup. This is where Sai Deepak, who was already slated to speak, stepped up. He was prepared to argue India's case and took on the challenge of rebuilding the team. On extremely short notice, he managed to bring in 2 other speakers from within the UK, Manu Kajuria and Pundit Satish K. Sharma. So, despite the setback, a new Indian team was ready to go. They were all set to travel to Oxford and face the Pakistani delegation, which reportedly included prominent figures like former Foreign Minister Hainar Rabbani Kar and Defense Minister Khwaja Muhammad Asif. The stage was set, the teams were finalized, and everyone was expecting a fiery debate. Then, just hours before the debate was supposed to kick off on November 27th, everything fell apart. According to Sai Deepak's detailed account, which he posted on X, the Indian team was on their way to Oxford when they received a crucial phone call. At 3:13 p.m., they were informed that the Pakistani delegation had not yet even landed in London. Think about that for a second. The debate was just a few hours away, and the main speakers for the proposition side were supposedly not even in a country. Based on this information, the Indian team made a logical decision. They aborted their journey. It seemed pointless to travel all the way to Oxford for a debate that couldn't happen. It appeared that the event was off due to the Pakistani side's failure to show up. Sai Deepak and his team believed the matter was settled, a no-show from the opposition. But this is where the story takes a truly bizarre turn, transforming from a simple cancellation into a full-blown controversy. Shortly after turning back, Sai Deepak claimed he received new information that completely contradicted what he had just been told. He alleged that he got confirmation that the Pakistani delegation, including Hainar Rabbani Kar, had in fact landed. Not only that, but they were already in Oxford, checked into a hotel. This new detail changed everything. If true, it meant the earlier phone call was either a huge miscommunication or, as Deepak suspected, deliberate misinformation. Faced with this new revelation, Sai Deepak was furious. He felt he and his team had been manipulated. He took to social media to launch a blistering attack, accusing the Pakistani side of deserting the battlefield even before the battle begins. He suggested they lacked the courage to face a live, unscripted debate and had engineered the entire situation to avoid it. He didn't hold back, framing it as a calculated move to sabotage the event while creating a false narrative. His criticism wasn't just aimed at the Pakistani speakers. He also had harsh words for the Oxford Union's leadership. He accused them of allowing the prestigious institution's reputation to be dragged in muck. He argued that by seemingly going along with the Pakistani side's version of events, the union had become a mouthpiece for the Pakistan High Commission, failing in its duty to remain a neutral and independent platform for free speech and rigorous debate. The Pakistan High Commission in London, however, painted a completely different picture. They released an official statement that directly contradicted every point Sai Deepak made. Their version: it was the Indian side that got cold feet. The High Commission expressed its regret that the Indian delegation, which they listed as the original high-profile lineup of General Narvain, Dr. Swami, and Sachin Pilot, had withdrawn at the last minute. Notice how they didn't even mention the replacement speakers that Sai Deepak had arranged. By focusing on the original lineup, they created the impression that India couldn't field a credible team. The statement went on to say that this withdrawal handed a walkover to the Pakistani side. They spun the narrative to suggest that the Indian team was not confident enough to defend their country's security policy in what they called a neutral and intellectually rigorous debate. It was a classic case of he said, she said, with two completely opposite stories emerging. The controversy quickly spilled over into the political arena. Indian lawmaker Priyanka Chaturvedi of the Shiv Sena UBT party jumped into the fray on X. She mocked the Pakistani side, tweeting, "Pakistan is crying again over an Oxford Union debate. This is for the record. Once again, they have proved to be liars. Expecting any better from them was not even on my list." Her post amplified the Indian narrative that Pakistan had intentionally sabotaged the debate and was now playing the victim. So, who is telling the truth? Let's look at the timeline. The Indian team says they were told the Pakistanis hadn't landed, so they turned back. Then they heard the Pakistanis were actually in Oxford. The Pakistan High Commission claims the Indian side withdrew, giving them a walkover. The crucial point seems to be that phone call at 3:13 p.m. Who made it? And was the information accurate? Was it a genuine mistake? Or was it a deliberate tactic to get the Indian team to back out, creating a pretext for cancellation? Sai Deepak's account is detailed and specific. He names names and gives a precise time for the crucial phone call. He also argues that his team was fully prepared and en route, which doesn't align with the cold feet narrative. On the other hand, the Pakistan High Commission's statement conveniently ignores the replacement Indian speakers and focuses on the original, more high-profile lineup that had already withdrawn days earlier for stated reasons. This could be seen as an attempt to frame the situation in a way that makes the Indian side look disorganized and unprepared. What was supposed to be a platform for intellectual exchange on a sensitive geopolitical issue devolved into a farce. It highlights the deep mistrust between the two sides, where even an academic debate at a world-renowned university becomes a battleground for political point scoring. The real loser here is the principle of open debate and dialogue itself. The Oxford Union, a historic institution meant to host such important conversations, now finds its credibility questioned. It's a stark reminder that when it comes to India and Pakistan, even the battlefield of ideas is fraught with conflict. What do you think happened? Was it a deliberate gambit by Pakistan, a colossal failure by the Oxford Union's organizers? Or did the Indian side genuinely get spooked and withdraw? The truth is probably buried under layers of political spin. One thing's for sure, this story is far from over. Thanks for watching. If you found this breakdown interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more deep dives into complex stories like this. See you in the next one.